welcome back to the channel. We are in the Supra today and we're going to be doing an honest review of the Supra. JZA80 Supra, you guys know the car, you guys know what we've done on the channel, so I want to go over it and be realistic like I did with the Crown the other week. I want to, like I always say, I'm always very positive about things, so I want to be a bit more realistic about this car. So let's dive on in and let's get some realism going. Okay, so I want to dive into the Supra the way we did with the Crown and kind of cover engine, driveline, interior, exterior, all those sorts of things. Now, this one's going to be a little bit different because we're going to start with the engine. Obviously, it's a Supra. I've got the 2JZ GTE, so the proper turbo motor, not just like an NAT or anything like that. But I wanted to touch on this first, mainly because I can give it a bit of a squirt at the beginning of the drive. Later on in the drive, I won't be doing that. So, firstly, I want to talk about the fact that, okay, I'm not going to compare this to other cars. I may reference other cars, but this isn't a comparison video. This is just like a realistic terms video. Now, I've got the 2JZ GTE, GTX 3582, so billet core, single turbo. I've got the V160 gearbox, so I've got the dream package, which I am stoked about. But nowadays, if you want to get that, it's going to be costing a lot more money. I think my gearbox was like 4.5 grand shipped, and my engine was 2.5 grand in a front cut, and obviously a turbo was like 2,200 because it was off the shelf. Nowadays, you're looking more like 10 grand for the motor, 10 grand for the box. You know, you're 22 grand deep before you've even put it in the car. But I still stand by this motor and gearbox combo. I love it. To me, it feels like the best description is, you know, that best mate you've got, that whenever you go out, you have the best time. You know, they've always got your back. You know, it's just going to be nothing but laughs, nothing but smiles, and you know that it's just going to be, you know, bliss. That's what this is to me. So obviously this holds like a warm place in my heart because I built the whole thing myself. So obviously, yeah, I'm gonna love it a little bit more than other cars because I built it. And you guys would find the same with any cars that you've built. Wow. It holds a special place in your heart. But when it comes down to it, the 2JZ is a really good engine. Whether you love it or you hate it, or you know, you're hating on it because you missed out on it in the cheap prices and now you're butthurt that you haven't got one, or whatever it may be, it's an amazing engine. You know, it's ready to go. It's ready. It's good for like 1,000 horse. Yes, you got to do some mods. Cams aren't going to hold 1,000 horse. You got to go upgrade those. Turbos, you got to upgrade. Injectors, like bolt-on stuff, you got to upgrade to hit the 1,000. But the actual block itself is good for that, and it's nice to know that you've got that that life in it. Ooh, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Oh, I just love how it sounds. I love how it sounds. I love how it goes. I love knowing that it's there, ready to pop whenever you want to drop your foot. Look, it's great in my eyes. I've got a really good combo. Clutch is great. It's a Titan Motorsport drag clutch, and it's really drivable. It's fun. It's good. But yeah, nowadays the prices they're silly. I honestly think it is worth the money people are asking. Look, let's just take it back, take away the reputation, all that sort of stuff. It is a motor that unopened is good for 1,000 horsepower. Like, that's pretty good, man. You know, if you, let's take a whatever motor, take it to a shop and say, hey guys, build it so it's good for 1,000. What are they going to charge it? They're probably going to charge you like upwards of, I don't know, 15. You know, like, you're going to have to do rings, you're going to have to do forged bottom end, you're going to have to do a new crank, you're going to have to do like, you know, upgraded rods and all that sort of stuff. So what you're actually getting is just a very overbuilt motor from a factory. The thing that hurts all of us, I think, is the fact that we used to be able to get them so cheap, now we can't. Now the world has gone, hey, that's a really good thing, let's charge like a wounded bull for it, you know? So yeah, as much as I think they are worth the money, if you're getting one in good condition, of course, it hurts that they are that money. You know what I mean? Like, I get what people will probably say, oh, but it's a secondhand motor. Yeah, it is. But to be fair, like, there's I've seen a lot of motors out there that have been fully built with cams, with just like with everything you need. And they're selling for like 15. Like 2JZ fully built, forged, everything, 15 grand. That's good for like heaps of power, right? You're not going to ever worry about the power, like, you know, the motor braking. Like, it's going to be good, but it's still at that point, you know what I mean? So it's like when I was saying about the Crown, you put in a $10,000 body kit because of like shipping and buying the kit, painting it and all that sort of stuff. It's only making the car worth an extra grand, whereas people are building these motors and they're only getting like 14 grand for it instead of 10 for a second-hand one. So like, if you're getting receipts and it's built by a shop and got a guarantee, I'd go the built motor, to be honest, because what's another 4 grand when you're getting a fully forged motor? It's like having that best friend, but he's on steroids and he ain't, you know, everyone picks on you and he's just there. You know what I mean? Like, why would you not go the extra 4 grand for a fully built motor? Like, I just bought a 1J because 1Js are still cheap. Granted, I probably wouldn't maybe try and stretch that to 1,000 horsepower, but I'm not aiming for that in that car, so we'll talk about that then. But yeah, look, I love the driveline, I love the engine, the gearbox, everything. It's just perfect to me. The sound, look, I love multiple cars sounds. Like, I love the RB26 with its ITBs, I love the 13B, but I do love the 2J, and I think, like I said previously, the thing that makes me love it that little bit more is I built it. I put it together. I got it running, so I'm gonna love it that little bit more. Same with when I build the 1J and I get it running, I'm gonna love that a little bit more. But the thing is, I'm gonna love my JZs more than the next JZ that's built the exact same because I did it, you know? Like, it's got a special place. So look, yeah, look, that's the motor really. When it comes down to it, yes, these cars are very expensive, but when you're getting parts, I feel like, yeah, it hurts to pay the price, but I feel like you're still getting some bang for buck, you know what I mean? All right, so now let's talk about interior. The famous interior. I mean, let's kind of take a step back. The A80 Supra is famous for its motor. It's famous for its gearbox. It's famous for its, like, aircraft style interior. There's a lot of things that it is famous for, which is really cool, and I think obviously adds to people asking more and more and more money. Now, I have noticed recently all the prices are dropping. The last 2 years, no one's been able to travel, everyone's been like, they've got spare money if they've been working and everything, so prices of cars have gone up. Now travel's like banging, people are traveling again, people aren't spending the money on the cars. I've been seeing Supras selling for the mid-20s. Granted, they're NA5 speeds, but I mean, I bought this back when I was, back like 15 years ago for 18, and it was NA5 speed. So if you're getting an NA Auto or an NA5 speed, like low 20s, mid-20s, I feel like you're still getting a pretty good deal if it's in good nick. And the ones that I've seen are like fairly good condition. You know, depends how much you want it, depends what you want to do with it. If you're someone that's buying it to resell it, maybe that's you know, the bug's falling out of that market to a degree. Maybe it's just starting to deteriorate, you know what I mean? It's not falling out yet, it's just starting to crumble. But I kind of like that. I don't like, and I'm sorry for anyone out there who's going to disagree with this, but I don't like guys that are buying Supras or Skylines or S13s just to pretty them up with a dodgy this, that and the other, and then sell them on for 5 times the amount. I hate that, because I buy cars because I love them. I'm not building this to sell it. I'm not building the E46 to sell it. I'm not building the Crown to sell it. If I sell them in the future, it's just because that's the path that I took and I ended up selling it. But I'm not building them to sell. I'm building them to love and drive and enjoy and just get amongst it, because that is my passion. So people that are just buying them to raise the prices and kind of rip off the market, I think that sucks. And I don't support that in the slightest. So look, let's just, back to the interior, sorry. I love it. I love this as well. And I'm let's be realistic about it. I don't like the no cup holders, obviously. No one loves that. But obviously you can do a little mod that gets you cup holders in these. But I think it's a great interior. It's comfortable for 2 people. It says it's a 4-seater. Mine's obviously not, because I've ripped out the back seats and re-registered it as a 2-seater. I did have 4 people in it at a couple of times, and no one was comfortable. No one was enjoying it. So it's a 2-person car. But the plastic's not cracking. You know, it's good plastics. Granted, like up at the windscreen, some of them warp a little bit. I have seen people's warp significantly, but like that's probably because they've spent their whole life in the sun. Not great for plastic, not great for cars in general, not great for paint. Like, are we gonna talk bad about people's, like, you know, companies' paint jobs because you sat it in the sun for 30 years? No, we're not. So I think this is held up very well. It's actually also held up with styling very well. Like, even in today's day and age, it doesn't have that like 80s feel. You know, like for example, the Soras, they've got that really cool like retro dash. I love it. I love retro stuff, so I think it's cool. But I don't think it's matching with the times. You know what I mean? So like the new Mercedes or the new Range Rovers or whatever. I say that because one just drove past. It's not keeping up with the times like that. Whereas I feel like this interior does to a degree. It still holds its 90s roots, but it is still a nice modern looking dash with all the features that you want and all the good bits, you know? So I think the interior is really good. Again, pricing, like a steering wheel for $3,000. Are you serious? Get out of here. Nah, get out. Like, I'm sorry, $3,000 in a Supra. If you've got a stock Supra and you're going to change in your steering wheel first, there's a lot of power you could have just gained out of your motor for $3,000, boys. I'd be doing that first, you know? I wouldn't be. This steering wheel, I don't know if you can see it properly, cost me 250 bucks. It looks great. I did it myself, 250 bucks. You could do it yourself. Like, it's literally an IS 200 steering wheel. Just make sure you don't get the one with the buttons and you're good, you know? Like, that's not worth $3,000. Let's not kid ourselves. Little bits of plastic people are asking 300 bucks for. Get out of here. It's not a 2JZ that's going to give you 1,000 horsepower all day, you know, with the supporting mods. It's a bit of plastic. It's an interior. Let's not joke around and rip each other off, you know? I remember back in the day, I needed a fuel door. One of the boys, 10 bucks, and it was color matched. Yeah, man, just come grab it. Like, it cost me more in fuel to get to him than the part. And he was just like, yeah, take it. Like, whatever. You're one of the Super Boys. Let's look after each other. I repeat, let's look after each other, you know? We got Seb Alley over here in Melbourne actually looking after people. He's selling bits for the right price, fair prices, looking after the boys. Now, I know he's like selling Supras, but he's making them nice, from what I've seen. So he's kind of like doing up cars for people, you know? Little like backyard Chip Foose kind of styles. And I think that's quite helpful because there's a lot of guys out in the car scene that want a done up car but don't really have the know-how. That's no bad thing. It's just some people do, some people don't. Some people, you know, just want to buy or bought one, and they, you know, I don't care. I think that's fine. You know, it's still cool. Just don't take the kudos for the build. You know what I mean? When someone goes, "Oh, that custom interior is sick," don't turn around and be like, "Yeah, I did it like in a weekend," when you didn't. You know, be like, "Oh yeah, previous owner did this, man. It was sick." You know. But yeah, interior, as much as I love it, and it's easy mods, easy to pull apart, all that sort of stuff, quite easy to work on. It's no Aston Martin dash. I feel like the parts are a little bit of a joke, you know? Yeah, you want to go custom carbon brides, you're going to be paying money because they're carbon fiber. You know, they're bride seats or brids or whatever you want to call them. But for little bits of interior plastics, don't go asking hundreds of dollars, boys. I know people are still going to do it, you're not going to listen to me, but I still think it's a bit of a dog act, you know? Now, let's go exterior. And again, I'll include the suspension in the exterior. Honest review of mine, when I air up with the air cups, front's fine. It's all good. You can drive around actually quite comfortably. You're not meant to drive over 60 Ks with it, but you can drive around quite comfortably and it's not terrible. The rears, on the other hand, it feels like you're on a fucking bull and it is trying to bounce you off the road. It's horrible. I think because as it comes up, I think the toe comes in, and then I think that kind of fights against the car. So it's like kind of thing, and it's horrible. So that speed camera, I was doing way under 40. Yeah, it's horrible. So I literally use the rear lift to get off my driveway or get over a big speed hump, something like that, and then straight back down again, because it's literally crawling pace, and then turn it off, you know. Apart from that, I love it. Drift cups on coilovers, amazing. You keep all the coilover ride, but you get to lift up and not damage your body kit as much, you know. Like it's great. I love it. I would recommend it to everyone. It's like what, $2.5 grand and 3 weekends worth of work. Worth it. Definitely worth it. As for the exterior, I'm trying to be realistic here, but I think the exterior, you know, and by realistic I mean like not just like Mr. Super Positive, like everything's so great about Supra, but I feel like the exterior has really aged well, the same as the interior. I think they did a great job. Definitely obviously has 90s stylings. Not everyone loves the shape of the Supra, and that's like, no, that's fine. If everyone did, they'd be $1 million each and no one would be able to drive them except for like the top echelon of money earners. So I think that they've aged really well, and obviously I like the fact that there are so many body kits, also people not running body kits, things like that, because it gives a bit of diversity and kind of like a bit of difference in the scene. They're not just all looking the same. The people are doing them how they want. Now there's a lot of people obviously at the moment, if you've been looking at Supras, you are noticing that everyone is ripping body kits off, putting factory bumpers and everything back on, and then they're trying to sell them for $1 million. If you're just like ripping the body kit off because you don't like your body kit and you want like stock body kit, like sick, do it. Like I actually, if the prices weren't crazy, I would love to do another Supra build, and that's what I would do. I would do stock body, like the VIP lift, and pretty much it. I'd keep it really, really simple, really clean and classy, like sack it and just, you know, just enjoy that original look, you know. But it's very different to the Crown. There's a lot of different body kits that you can get, a lot of different wheels, all that sort of stuff. We'll go with the body first. We'll talk about the wheels in a second. The body kits, unlike the Crown, you can buy cheap copy body kits anywhere you want. A lot of people are making them, remaking them, but the thing is they've been remaking them for a long time in the same molds of fiberglass, and then making molds off of molds and molds off of molds and molds off of molds. So every time you make a mold off of like something that came from a mold, it's going to be slightly different, and then slightly different again and again and again, and to the point where the front bumper doesn't fit by like 2 inches, you know. So you've got to be very aware when you're buying body kits that you're buying either brand new from a reputable company, like Graham's. Their side skirts fit quite well. Still had a day of work we had to put into it to actually get them to fit right, but they fit a lot better than the cheap ones that I picked up for like $100, but they cost me $1 grand. So, you know, risk and reward. Maybe you're going to get a cheap one and you're going to be able to save some money. Maybe you're not and you're going to get ripped off. I don't know. But I know a lot of people, when they advertise body kits, they're like, never been fitted, brand new, in the box, all this sort of stuff. I would rather buy, let's say, side skirts that have been fitted, not brand new, and just like make sure they're not broken, and if anything they got like maybe a little crack in them, right? Because a little crack in a side skirt that fits perfectly, and you can see photos of the car with it fitted on, to me is far more valuable than a side skirt that you're just potlucking and you're going, does it fit? Because like the side skirt on the left side, the cheap one, was like 1 inch too long. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna cut it in the middle and then cut a section out and then remake it and all that sort of stuff. Like, it's far easier just to fix a little crack. You're gonna have to rub it back, prime it and paint it anyway. So the rubbing back and prepping and painting, that's gonna happen regardless. So you may as well get a second-hand set that have been fitted, not damaged, or minor damage, and just fix up a little crack. Way easier than remolding something that you've cut in half, okay? That's just my opinion. That's what I would do next time if I bought a fiberglass body kit. I wish that they did a lot more polyurethane, like plastic body kits for these. It would make life a lot easier, and it'd be way better, but it's not a big thing that I've seen in the Japanese market. You can get OEM stuff, obviously, but it's really expensive, and it's just the OEM kit. So if you want OEM, it's gonna fit perfect, but you're more limited to how it looks, kind of thing, you know? It's you're not gonna get as much customizability. Yeah, let's make up words, why not? Can you stop coming in so hot, dude? There's this four-wheel drive behind me that is like not braking until the last second and then jamming on the brakes. Has done this whole video. They followed me. Anyway, yeah, so that's body kits. I would get, oh, I just did that in front of cops. Time to air up. I'm definitely getting pulled over. Yeah, I just turned the camera off because the compressor was really noisy. I haven't been pulled over yet, so if I do, I'll keep you guys on. Yeah, you won't get as much customizability, if that's even a word, with OEM stuff, but you will get perfect fitment and a lot less headaches. Trust me, like if you can get plastic stuff, if you get stuff that fits really well, get it. It saves a lot of time and money. I would have saved a lot of money on this respray on the Supra had I done that, had I not tried to save some dollars like here and there, and got the cheaper bits. Now it's the wheels. Wheels are a very interesting part of a build. It's all how you want it. It's all how, you know, how do you like them to fit? What kind of tires do you want? I've said this in so many videos. People say, yeah, it's perfect fitment. Like for example, one of my mates, he's got a 32 Skyline, and someone was selling a set of wheels that looked beautiful. They were incredible. And he had no fitment specs. He just put on fitment for a GDR. Okay, now my mate's is a non-GDR, so it's a slightly narrower body. But I messaged the guy because he's here. My mate's in Perth. I said to the guy, "Hey, dude, what's the fitment like? What's the actual specs?" Because you know, saying fitment for a GDR could mean anything. It could be like hot boy fitment where it's like flush as or poking the guards. It could be drag fitment where you've got like, you know, a good inch in between the edge of the rim and the inside of the guard. It could be a whole bunch of stuff. It could be factory fitment, you know, like you've got it built to the factory wheel specs, which is very, very weak fitment. Like 2 months later, he messaged me McDonald's fitment. Like I think he was high and he thought he was funny, whatever. But saying fitment for a 32 doesn't help at all. Yeah, they'll fit on a 32, or they'll fit on a Supra, or they'll fit on a whatever, but a lot of wheels are going to fit. Like you'll be able to technically put it on a drive, but is it going to be what you want it to be? To me, perfect fitment, as you guys probably know, is the rim lining up with the guard, slight stretch on the tires, in a roll guard, so you can poke it in and like not rub, but you can have the most aggressive wheels that you get. I know some of the boys, Gucci 2J out there, hope you're watching this, brother, have a little Mango Loco on me. He's got crazy fitment. He's got that aggressive camber, all that sort of stuff. Oh man, there's heaps of people in my parking spot. Yeah, so when you're going with wheels, again, make sure they clear your brakes, make sure they clear your guards, make sure you're not going to rub, etc, etc, etc. There's so many things you got to make sure on your wheels, like I did with mine. I did literally like years of research into mine, calculations on calculations on calculations, making sure that it would all fit. I'm not going to have issues, I'm not going to rub, I'm not going to X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? Like you got to make sure that it's going to be perfect, because otherwise you're just going to have a headache and stuff's not going to work for you. And it really depends kind of what you want. Do you want just a set of wheels that you like? Do you want to go with a certain brand? Again, like Japanese wheels are expensive at the moment. People are asking crazy money for these, and is it worth it to you? Like, is it really? To me, it is, because like my favorite wheels are only like, you know, one brand, obviously. There's no, like, you can get copies, but they suck. Where am I going to park? yeah, you can get copies, but like no one's going to run rep wheels. I wouldn't do it. It's not my cup of tea. And I wouldn't recommend it to you guys because you've got no guarantee that they are any good, like durability wise and all that sort of thing. But when it comes down to it, it's up to you. But for me, like the Supra, to be realistic about it, no, they're not worth $170,000. No, they're not worth 100 grand. Like they're worth maybe, I don't know, 40, 50, to be fair, if you've got, you know, the dream package, the V160, the turbo motor, the, you know, the big diff, the whatever it is, you know, great condition, good interior condition, blah, 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 TID dash, all that. 170 grand? Nah, can't see it. 50, 60, yeah, I can see it. And then you kind of go down from there. I think that's more fair, but that's also coming from someone who was buying S13s for $500 back when I was younger. So yeah, it's hard for me to accept the new times, but I guess they're here. Let's hope that the prices drop because it's horrendous. I know that's not going to be everyone's opinion. Obviously, I'm a Supra lover. When they came out, or when this came out in the Fast and the Furious, boom, fell in love, wanted one, never thought I'd get it, got it. You know, I'm never going to sell it. It's been literally a half a life worth of building this thing, and I'm in love. So yeah, look, I'm never going to get rid of it. I love it, and it is really hard for me to kind of, I don't know, talk bad about anything. I guess engine, the only thing that I don't really love is that my exhaust smells, because I've got a high flow cap, still legal. And when I'm on track and I run my Screamer, then yeah, you get out of the car, you smell a bit like exhaust fumes, to be honest, like a bit like, I think it's just running crazy rich. And I think that the company that tuned it didn't want to go any further with like running extra boost because they couldn't be bothered. But I think that I've got a lot more that I could be running on this setup. I'm running 334 rear wheel horsepower, 10 pounds of boost. Just when we got the new ECU in, we just ran that because we knew that we were going to go a new fuel system and do a full tune then. And I think that's why they didn't really bother, because they were like, we'll do it when he does the fuel system. So yeah, look, I think I'm just running super rich, and that's why I get that issue. As for like poking wheels and stuff like that, these don't sit as aggressive as the Crown, so I don't get a lot of spray up the side. Also, I run a body kit, which is like massive mud flaps, so that kind of catches a lot of stuff. But yeah, like, man, I can't really speak bad of them. I'm a 90s like Jap boy by heart. I love them, and they're everything that I ever want, you know. If someone said to me, do you want a Lamborghini or do you want 3 Supras, I'd be like, well, 3 Jap cars, let's say a 34, a Supra and a FD, I'd take the 3 cars all day, every day. You can't convince me otherwise. But yeah, look, guys, that's my kind of realistic review on the Supra. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you guys kind of agree. If you don't, like, obviously, cool. Like, not everyone's gonna agree with me, but this is kind of my realistic views on the car. Are things worth what they're being charged? No, not so much, you know? Like, not to the degree of hundreds of dollars for a little bit of plastic and stuff like that. Help the boys out, look after each other, you know? So guys, if you like, if you wanna hang around for more videos, subscribe. We're going to Europe and America soon. I'm taking you guys with us. It's gonna be sick. Cannot wait. We're gonna go theme parks. I'm gonna take the GoPro everywhere. I'm gonna take you on roller coasters with me. I'm gonna take you through haunted houses in Universal Studios. It's gonna be awesome. It's literally a few weeks away. So if you wanna see all that kind of stuff, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching all the videos and you're not subscribed, because there is, I think, like 30% of my viewers actually subscribe, maybe less, please hit the button. Don't worry about the notifications. Help me grow the channel. Hit the button. Let's get some more subscribers. It honestly helps me so much. And apart from YouTube, it helps me in here a lot. When I see this subscriber count go up because people are actually interested, they're actually watching my videos, it makes me feel like I'm not wasting my time doing this YouTube. I want to make it in the world of YouTube. Yes, this is my hobby, but I really want to make it as a YouTuber. Like, I started out just goofing around, having some fun, and I want to keep goofing around, having fun. That's why I'm not changing my content. It's why I'm keeping it true to what I do and what I like. But if this grew with me doing this stuff to the point where I could like quit my job and just do YouTube full time for you guys, make content, make fun stuff for you guys, it would be a dream come true. To be honest, it really would. The more I've done this, the more I realize that it's something that I want to be doing my whole life. When I have kids, I want to bring them into it, you know, build my cars with my kids, like Michael Det, stuff like that. It'd be sick. So guys, yeah, if you want to help the channel grow, there's Patreon, likes, there's comments, there's subscribing. If you want to turn notifications on, that's dope. But yeah, apart from that, guys, that's all we got time for today. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. See you guys.